Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How is everyone tonight? I am once again simulcasting on Rumble and Utizzle, and I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing well. I had a great time watching Hegseth's speech, watching Trump's follow-up speech, and then I got to watch a bunch of characters getting locked up, pepper bombed and slapped around, thrown in jail. It was a great day off. I really enjoyed it. It's going to keep on keeping on. So anyway, what do I do? What do I do usually when I broadcast? I play a few videos, give people some time to get into the chats. Get yourself a cup of coffee, a cold bruja, or anything that you might like to imbibe in, enjoy. And then we're going to be like butter and get on the road.
The murder of Charlie Kirk was not a political act. The murder of Charlie Kirk was not a...
You want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, not smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. But hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
The storm's on.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give President tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Here I am. Thank you for joining me. I got a meme blast from the past. Got me taken down on Facebook one time. I was taken down on Facebook, I don't even know how many times. YouTube, I don't know how many times. Remember, if my stream gets shut down, hang in there. And if I don't come back within 5 minutes or so, look for a new stream. There's two ways they do it to me. One, I'll get a notification that the stream has been canceled, but it doesn't cancel on Rumble. It keeps going, and I can go back into Rumble. Or they just shut down YouTube, but I can continue back on the same stream. So they do it two ways. So I may come back up on the same stream, or I may have to start a new stream. It's a game they play. Games people play. Anyway, who all's here joining me tonight? Let me see. Whoa, my screen's freezing up. Oh, I got to watch it. Hi, Robin. Hi, Melinda. Marla, nice to see you. Todd. Bill's here. Randy's here. Wayne's giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, Wayne, for stopping by. Buy me a coffee. I appreciate it. You finished out last week. As a matter of fact, I want to thank Mike and Bev for starting off this week with a good buy me a coffee. Graybeard's here. Debbie's here. Let's see. Sherry's here. Elvis here. Pappy Two Bears. Yeah, watch Storm, Debbie. Watch Storm. They're finding out if they don't do something, there's going to be a storm. I got some things I'm going to post. 61 days, and it's automatic. Trump has discernment. Hi, Ann, how are you doing? To get rid of 700,000 of them. But he also has discernment right now, tomorrow, tonight, if you want to get rid of about 150,000. But he can really unload after 61 days, right? Right, Todd? You know that's true. Who did I forget? Ann's here, Debbie's here, Todd's here, Rain's here, Pappy Two Bears, Bill. They. Yeah, you look at the young people. We got young people that have been indoctrinated. How time flies when Barack Hussein Obama and his spouse took over the school system. Indoctrinated kids. Oh, we got so many people believe that. That's why Bernie got so much traction. So much for the younger generation just got polluted, and lived in fear. And the notion that somebody's ripping you off. That's why you don't have everything you want. That's why you can't go to the movies and have a bag of popcorn. Is because some rich people are ripping you off. They're taking the whole pie. Everybody should get a piece of the pie. Yeah, we are Jimmy Kimmel. I had a clip I could have played to him, but I didn't even copy it down. He was a guest host on Colbert Show. Joke. That's the way liberals are getting to be. Where nobody can stand. They gotta go around with each. But anyway, let me see. I want to take that down. I got another one. I want to show you all who we're up against. Right here is what you're up against. All right? Just so you know, they don't date Trump supporters. So libs are getting mocked. And TV generals came out running their mouths. You know, MacArthur got fired for a lot less than these clowns are doing. And I don't care if they're retired. There's such a thing as post-service discipline. I've talked about that general that called it like it was, said Clinton was a pothead. And he lost some stars and bars, a cut and pay. Just because they're retired doesn't mean they don't got to meet meet their standards. No more fat generals either. No more Mr. Fat Bodies walking around. No more dudes dressed as women. No, that stuff's finished. And Trump said so many things that, somebody's paying attention, especially in the armed forces, and in the know, they'd know what he's talking about. He talked about control of territory is important. You have to be able to control your territory, or you might as well not have it. You don't deserve it. And we know about 11.3, control of territory, right? The Geneva Conventions, captured territory. We're recaptured. They have captured territory with their insurgency, and we're taking it back. I put that in my thumbnail one time, taking it back. And about 2 days later, Trump was at a prayer conference, and he said, we're taking it back. He used those exact words. So, hi, Joshua. How you doing? Miss Mendersu, how are you doing? Nice to see you, Graybeard. Nice to see you. Let's see. You know what? If you put in all one word in your goggle bar, buy me a coffee, Mountain Man. All one word. Ha ha. That's all you got to do. That's all. You will see a thing pop up and says, walk with me through history, Mountain Man. And then you podge that. Let me show you what comes up. I tell you what. I got a picture. I don't even know if I want to put it up. But anyway, I will. Anyway, here's what comes up. That's my page right there. See in the background? The Batman symbol with the my Punisher. I'm going to change the Punisher look. I'm going to have a new looking channel at some point. But anyway, that's all you're going to do. One word. Buy me a coffee, Mountain Man. All one word. And then it'll pull up a link, says, walk with me through history. That's at least what it did on my Google bar. Goggle bar. But anyway, so what's everybody upset about now? Oh, my goodness. Trump put up a racist video. And I can't imagine they're taking people down for playing that video. But you can't trust them. You can't trust them. Oh, get ready for the Super Bowl. Here's the Super Bowl act. Everybody can't wait for this. With Super Bowl performance by a Spanish-speaking man in dress. I have no idea who this character is. I wouldn't know one of his songs. I just wouldn't know it. I got no idea who this person is. What is this? The one from MSNBC? Let me see. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. How mad they get. MSNBC put this up. This is real. House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries. A racist fake video Donald Trump posted calling Democrats pieces of tea after Trump met with congressional leaders ahead of a looming government shutdown. There he is. Now, that's MSNBC blowing their cork. Calling that video a vile, racist, fake video. Like people couldn't tell it was parody. Parody. Let me see. I've got it. Here. I don't know. Y'all want to hear it? It's a fake video, folks. I got to disclose that. Oh, I think I got to click a button in my description before I can play it. But what idiot wouldn't know that it's fake? What idiot? Are they that stupid? Let me see. Here's Here's a picture of Trump with a, well, everybody's seen this one. I was going to use this as my thumbnail, but Frank on NBC show beat me to it. Donald Trump pointing and laughing at Hakeem with his Trump 2028 hats on the desk. And Hakeem said, they just appeared out of nowhere. I have no idea who did that. Like, what I was thinking when I play my intro video, it flips a switch. And somebody goes, I got to take that guy down. You never know how they're going to operate. How they operate. Also, there we go. There's Chuck Schumer flapping his jaws. And Trump 2020. I don't know who, that had to be Dan Scavino, took that picture. There for the history books, because they're all getting exposed now. All getting exposed. What? I guess people might think this is AI because it's so horrible looking, but it's real. Let me find it. It's Maxine Waters. I'm not going to shut down. You're trying to trick me. You're trying to put me in a trap. Say I take care of illegals. Anyway, I think this is it. Here. I mean, the time they put up where Nancy was slurring her words, I say Donald Trump has got this, and she was drunk. That was a fake video. So anyway, let me go ahead and play it.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, American
Excuse
employees are going
me,
to be furloughed.
stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens?
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
You're
asking
divisive.
questions.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, that's
You're being divisive. No, please, don't. You don't need to ask that question. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it.
Health care for all people. All people. Let's see, which news organization was this? Lindell TV. She's a cutie for somebody, somebody younger. So, yeah, and she handled it real well, very respectful, I think. But anyway, now, can they tell that this is fake, or do I have to put a warning up? Because there could be a world where there's 4 Donald Trumps playing a mariachi band. I don't know.
We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Once wasn't enough. Once wasn't enough. I had to play it twice. I was going to put this up at the beginning of my video. Okay? Next to that one with the couple that didn't even know how they were being controlled. You liberal Democrats think ICE is authoritarian? This was Gavin Newsom's gazpacho tyrant California, during the CVID, harassing broken. I mean, to the average common sense person, they have got a bad look going on. They look weak. They look pandering. I mean, that's the normalest they can look. On the other extreme, you know, the other bunch. I don't know if I got that video of occasional cortex or not. I might play it. I don't know. But this guy got on my thumbnail here. Where is it? Here he is. Here he is. I said one of many. One of many. 300K a year. Proud voter. That's the one I was talking about. I could say, wait, there's more. Well, there was more after my live stream. It came out he's registered to vote in Maryland. Maryland. What do we know about Maryland? Fannie Willis told us. Fannie Willis told us. It's part of the DMV, what the liberals call the DMV, a part of the captured territory. That this insurgency, a Marxist insurgency, we've been told by the President of the United States that there are Marxist operatives in control of certain areas, and we're in control of the presidency via the auto pen. He said Sleepy Joe was surrounded by Marxists, okay? It's better to say that as far as public perception than to overuse the word commie. But that's the word it is, okay? And we have a Communist Control Act. I had it on my video last time, almost through the whole video. It's the same suit, different bow tie. Same smell, different outhouse, okay? Different Johnny house, whatever, however you want to say it. But anyway, this clown, I saw this on Newsmax. I hear he's got his haircut and his glasses on. Like that makes a difference. Iowa superintendent. Now he's in Iowa. How the hell does he, why would he go register to vote in Maryland? Because he knows it's fellow operatives running Maryland that don't care. And as a matter of fact, they welcome as a Confederate helping to bolster their captured territory and help expand their captured territory with his votes going so far as to influence the presidential election. We're talking national level. Iowa superintendent to resign following ICE arrest. At first blush, you would say, well, that's ridiculous. Where's he going to resign from? Ghana? But you know what? If you think about it, they would probably keep putting checks in his bank account. He's on a paid leave. He's on paid leave till his case gets squared away. He is battling along with some 90-year-old judge in Massachusetts who can't write his name anymore. He has to have a hearing in 2 months. So he's on pay. They would keep sending him checks. Okay? That's how they pay their operatives. And I've also explained people would faint if they knew how much of our money goes overseas. In Social Security payments, disability payments. You know, some of these characters that get deported that have had a child under the fraudulent anchor baby policy. Well, if that family has that kid as a disabled minor, or the mother says, I'm a single mother and my husband is incarcerated, they get checks. checks, incarcerated spouses, and you can't make it. You need a hand. Oh, my child is autistic. Well, the child gets a disability check. And so we're going to move to Mexico to keep our family together. Guess what? They're taking that, air quotes, American citizen, 3 months old, 6 months old, born to people or Eduardo or Pedro or whoever here illegally takes up with a American citizen. And they got to go to Mexico to keep the family together. The checks keep going to Mexico right out of Social Security disability or whatever program they signed up for. Because nobody does updates or checks on it. But that's going to change. I told about a guy going to the Philippines. It's a lot of them go over there. No fool like an old fool. A man told me many years ago. Guy goes over there, he's 55, 58, 59, 60, whatever. Takes up with a 25-year-old, 22-year-old Filipino and thinks that through the magic of his appearance and his mental powers, his superior intelligence, that a 22-year-old would find a 60-year-old man attractive. That's called an old fool. Okay? When he corks off, she gets survivor benefits from his Social Security. If they have children, especially if they come over here, have children, go back, the money keeps going. That's just one scenario. It's happening all over the place. So yeah, I can see why this guy was told, you better resign, okay? Because we tie you to a RICO or under laws of war. If you're an unlawful combatant who's aiding and abetting in this insurgency, you could end up in CCOT, okay? Or maybe Uganda, or who the hell knows where. So yeah, he's going to resign. But my bottom line is, if they could get away with it, and they probably would if they had a few strings to pull, especially with these crooked judges, they would keep sending him money. And 300,000 is nothing to sneeze at, okay? 300,000 is nothing to sneeze at. So anyway, that's how twisted, perverse, gross, and sick our system has become. Speaking of twisted, perverted, gross, and sick, I got to remember that. Twisted, perverted, gross, and sick. Netflix. Netflix's stock has crashed. My other phone got wiped out. That's a story I'll tell another time. But I had a meme in there that I have to find with Brock and Michelle sitting on a couch with the two kids, and it said, playing on Netflix, My Two Dads. But anyway, yeah, Obama's been on the board with Netflix, and now they're pushing a supposedly children's cartoon. Guess what it's about? Guess what it's about? It's about the one you see on the right that would never date you, you mean Trump supporters. Yeah, that's what they want your kids to turn into. And they also had a writer. I saw just Charlie Kirk. We're talking kids shows, okay? And, oh, Erica Kirk, I can't wait. I can't wait to see that trial. What they did to Alex Jones, got $1 billion settlement, cleaned his studio out, took his property, banned him, and Trump almost 25 million, right? $25 million. It's going to the library or the ballroom, one or the other. You know, Trump's going to rub it in their face. But, you know, that might be part of the problem that I'm having. It's because I sent them an email after they took me down for a week. I basically told them that whoever said I was putting up disinformation was a damn liar. Well, I didn't say damn. And that I ought to forward this stuff to Mike Davis and people in the Trump administration about how I've been treated, especially my other channel being taken down. I don't think that had anything to do with it. But what was it, 2 or 3 broadcasts later, I'm smacked. It was after the warning. Then they took me down for a week. Netflix, well, Miss Brenda Sue, if you, a lot of people might not know this. Hi, Jerry, how you doing? Phil, nice to see you. Sparky, ha. Rain, did I say hi to you? If I didn't, I'm saying it now. Ha. Marla, I said hi to Marla. I'll say hi to Marla again, yeah. Maybe I'll see him again. But anyway, some people just lurk. They don't want to comment. But anyway, that's okay. Lurk. But anyway, you may not know it, but if you have T-Mobile, part of your money you pay goes to Netflix. They got some kind of deal. And if you have T-Mobile, they, air quote, give you a subscription. Everybody that signs up to T-Mobile is like Miss Mindersu. Never heard of Netflix. Guess what? If you're signed up with T-Mobile, you are a subscriber to Netflix. And they show that, look how many subscribers we have. And they show that to their advertisers. They show it to their stockholders. They show it to anybody that makes their books look, wow, people must love Netflix. I just want a flipping phone. T-Mobile gave me a good deal on a phone. I didn't know I was signed up for Netflix. Well, now you know. And Netflix is pushing dysphoric psychological abuse on little ones through cartoons. And I've already talked about how they took down Joe Camel years ago. John McStain led that charge. Oh, we can't have cartoon characters pushing Camel cigarettes. Joe Camel was meant for kids, and that's awful. It's horrible. Where is that? Here it is. Citizen Free Press. I didn't get a clip of it because last time I played Netflix, from Netflix, it was 2 gay guys that were pushing. Bam. I got a copyright strike. They took the video down for a, 30-second clip. So no. Dead End Paranormal Park. That's the name of it. Dead End Paranormal Park. A show on Netflix is pushing pro-transgender on children. The show is advertised for 7-year-olds. It's being promoted on Netflix now. So you see a purple-headed, rather bulbous individual and a little girl. And I guess they make up fantasy stories that you would expect someone with their mind in another place if they had the opportunity, what kind of stories they would tell little kids. Yeah, that's where they've always been after, little kids. So, yeah, if you got T-Mobile, check out Boost Mobile. Check it out. They don't play those kind of damn games. Stanton, how you doing? Yeah, they don't play those games. Those are no contract deals. And it's competitive, you know. Holy cow, I'm going over 36 minutes and nobody's taking me down yet. Maybe they got tired of messing with me. I got some news here. ABC put this up. Pope Leo the 14th has intervened he has not intervened in anything. Before you judge this, let me finish my story. Has intervened for the first time in an abortion dispute roiling in the U.S. Catholic Church, raising the seeming contradiction over what it really means to be pro-life. What are you talking about, Pope? Someone who says, I'm against abortion, but says I'm in favor of the death penalty is not really pro-life. Well, one thing, he's not saying it's okay to have abortions, is he? No. He's not. And I told a story about when I was younger. I went to talk to my dad, my father, and I said, Dad, I decided I'm against the death penalty because you're mean because Jesus said love everybody and life is precious and don't throw the first stone and all this stuff. So I'm against the death penalty. And my dad straightened me out so daggone fast. He said, no. Punishment. Jesus was not against punishment. And he said, God. I said, the Ten Commandments say, thou shalt not kill. No, son. It says, there's a difference. One's illegal. It's against the law. It's unjust. Not to take a life unjustly. And God even tells you how to wage war when you have to take life as a part of a necessity, as a part of life. You have to take life. God gives you instructions on how to do it. The Ten Commandments take a life, which is what murder is. And it straightened me out. And I said, well, what about, I think it might have been the Pope just before John Paul. What the Pope said or whatever, or what the priest said down to the church. They are only speaking as men, which they're allowed to do. Popes have to, if they want to change church doctrine, they have to do it in what's called an encyclical, an official document. That's the only time infallibility of the Pope comes into play. When they change church doctrine or any official act concerning the dogma of the church, which he's not doing. He's only speaking as a man. a flip comment or a comment from a reporter out of the blue about abortion, his response is him only speaking as a man. So that set me straight, and I understand where he's coming from, but it's not official. It's not the last word. And by the way, same time I scrolled across that, I came across this. Must be the algorithm or something. Miami-Dade couple in 1990 set to be X3 acquitted. Okay, so he got to live 36 years. 36 years. That's what I was saying about we need quick trials. We need quick trials. And just because the Pope said what he said ain't going to help this guy one bit. One bit. Yeah, he's gone too long. Well, here's the clock, folks, when they posted the White House. It's at 17 or 18 hours now. It's been, the government's been shut down. It should be around 18 hours. And we'll see how far it goes. When do you think the government will open up? They came back for another vote earlier today. After the official shutdown, they came back for another vote, and it failed. So how long do you think the government will be shut down? Hours? Days? Put a couple of prognostications. Let's see if anybody made a prognostication. And I will say, kindly, people want to say anything about the Pope bad, or any person. Read about Saul/Paul. Okay? Saul, Paul. In the Bible. When he was blinded. Okay? Before anybody wants to condemn others to a spiritual fate, I'll say. What was Saul going to do? And then why did Saul not do what he was going to do? What kind of a life did Saul live before he was blinded? Not a good life. He could see. And if it can happen to Saul, it can happen to anybody. New York Times, Jane Goodall, one of the world's most revered conservationists, has died at 91. Her discoveries in the 1960s about how chimpanzees behaved in the wild broke new ground and represented what was called one of the Western world's great scientific achievements. I can't think of anything she's ever done to knock over my apple basket. And she's a prominent world-known person, and she's gone on to her great reward. If that be the determination from St. Peter, gonna let her in or not? We can't judge. Speaking of judging, here's a story that came out. I don't know how true this is. and I didn't click on it because I don't want to give them any views. But these are pukes that I've warned you about, along with Midas Trash Network and most obnoxious groups you can look at. Their comments are, their followers are obnoxious, petty, unfunny, vicious, but they got a channel. They got 1.3 million views. Army General exits Haig's speech, stuns Trump. Did you hear about that anywhere else other than the stupid thumbnail I'm putting up? Play this twice on a loop in case you can't hear it, because some of these videos, the sound stinks. But let me see. Yeah, hold on. Let me cut my mic off. It makes it louder.
So I'm going over, I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire them right on the spot. So I'm going over, I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire them right on the spot.
Well, if that story is true, the only reason he got up and left was because he didn't want to get humiliated. There's a few things that have more pride than a general. Your average general. There are good generals that are very approachable. That's right, Miss Renchu. Go POTUS. Whoa, got to cut my mic on. So anyway, yeah. The story was, if you didn't walk the chalk, you got to go. You got to go. I want to get that thing off the screen. I got to find something else to put up. How about this? For Maxine. This is for you, Maxine. There we go. Deserves health care. Does not deserve free health care. Right. There you go. If you want to get a picture of that, put on your meta. For all the people that want us to take care of the world, and they're all non-productive. They're non-productive individuals. They don't work. They don't do squat. I want to keep making fun of people. Wait a minute. Here. Let's make fun of some people here. Here, Hakeem. Remember when Trump had... That's one to put on your meta page. When Trump had somebody in it. Who was it? It was a president from, I think, Azerbaijan. And he was showing hats saying, oh, you want any hat you want, you can have. And he said he should put Trump 2028 on the sombrero because he did get the Latino vote, right? He did. He deserves it. He deserved it. Here's a thing I saw. Newsmax. President Donald Trump trolled Democratic congressional leaders with Trump 2028 hats on his desk before the government shutdown. There you go. I don't know if they're available. They might be collector's items. I don't know. Well, there'd be so many of them. It would take 100 years for them to become a rarity. Here you go. Here you go, you dummies. You dumb dummies. I had a friend who used to say that all the time. A dumb dummy. Ha ha. Dollar store Obama and Chucky begging for $1 trillion to fund illegals and pay their NGOs because the DNC is out of money. And this is all in response. I'm going to put a warning up. I'm going to say, this isn't real. This is AI. Where is it at? I'll put the video up. but I can't believe they're gonna. Here it is. Here it is, folks. I guess I could put that warning in my description after my live is done. Who would think? Now, they said MSNBC and CNN put this video up, and they put a banner up. Like their viewers were that stupid. Well, they probably are that stupid. But then they came out with this was a racist video. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play it.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
That's my disclaimer. That was altered. That wasn't real. Just so I don't trick anybody and put out misinformation. And that, just like this one here. Wait a minute. Where is it? Here it is. This isn't real. Trump did not play a violin and Hakeem Jeffries didn't cry like that. He doesn't have cartoon tears coming down.
Mr. President, the next time you have something to say about me, don't cop out through a racist and fake AI video. When I'm back in the Oval Office, say it to my face. Say it to my face.
Now, you see where somebody could have mistaken that for something real? Why would I do that to... oh, here's another one. Donald Trump put this one up. Donald Trump, President of the United States. This is... what was that old... Is it real or is it Memorex? Is it real or is it Donald Trump trolling?
Disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
A disgusting video. Nah, we thought it was good. We liked it. We liked it. We want more. Being able to watch this stuff and at the same time watch. Remember that kid I put up? I said I get mixed up, the names mixed up between. Was it? I said Nick Shirley. I get him mixed up with a kid I don't like, but I like Nick Shirley. Let me see if this is the one. This shows you. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want to play this too. But I was talking about Nick Shirley. I'll play Steve Miller in a minute. Let me play Nick Shirley, and now I'll play Steve Miller. I'm going to save the Steve Miller one. I might put it on my intro. Let's see if this is it.
Do any of us have...
No, that's Michael Cohen. He says James Comey's going to go to jail. Well, may go to jail. I don't think his friends on CNN cared for him saying that, but where is that kid? That's why I hate these black screened videos. I can't really. Oh, that's another guy that's making fun. Let's listen to him. I'll find Nick Shirley in a minute.
Hola, mi fellow Americanos, y bienvenidos al cierre de Schumer. That means welcome to the Schumer shutdown. We call it the Schumer siesta, right? It's the Schumer siesta. He put the government on siesta. Crying Chuck and El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries. We used to call him Dollar Store Obama till we realized he's worth far less than $1. But they put the government on siesta to give illegal aliens your health care. We're not going to let it happen. I looked at both of them. I said, we're not going to let it happen. It's no bueno. I said, it's no bueno. They begged me. They said, but senor, por favor, please give illegal aliens the health care. I said, we're not going to do it. We're never going to do it. It's not going to happen. And they're also very upset about our big, beautiful sombreros. You look at them. These are the greatest sombreros the world has ever seen. We really have the best sombreros, and everybody wants one except Crying Chuck and El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries. They don't want one, but they're going to wear one when all is said and done. We're going to end the siesta. We're going to reopen the government, and we will not give in to the demands of Chuck and El Jefe. We're not going to do that. Thank you. God bless you. Dios lo bendiga, and God bless America. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
El Jefe, El Jefe Jeffy. But anyway, yeah, this has been a great week. A great week here. Here, this is also, is this real or is it altered? I mean, you all let me know. It's a MSNBC. That's Joe Scarborough. He's getting on the bandwagon with El Jefe.
It's true. It's fact-based. And I know that's not really popular these days with a certain segment of our society. It's about their feelings. The same people that said, F your feelings, vote Trump. Now it's all about feelings for them. If it feels right, doesn't matter whether it's a lie or not. Just go with
it. People are playing clips with him and his wife, Mika Brzezinski. I'm not going to play him. I don't care about it. But they got a little spat, I guess you could say. I guess I don't have that Nick Shirley, but I might have it. I might have to go out of the studio to get it. There was somebody picking on him, and a sniper drew a bead on the guy. Drew a bead on him. And that settled it right down. I can play that tomorrow. This might be it right here. No, that's something else. Well, Nick, I tried. I tried. Here's something y'all would like to see. Let's see. YouTube, Danielle D'Souza Gill. YouTube just agreed to pay President Trump $24.5 million for suspending his account in 2021. Facebook agreed to pay Trump $25 million for suspending him. Twitter agreed to pay $10 million. ABC, $15 million. Settle a defamation lawsuit. 60 Minutes, $16 million. Yeah, for altering Kamala Harris's interview. Censorship or lies are finally coming back to bite big tech. That's right, folks. Let's see what else. It said, congratulations, President El Trumpo. That's what I'm going to start calling him till we get on something else. El Trumpo. El Presidente Trumpo. Yeah, I remember we were bribing border guards down in Mexico. My older friends called him El Presidente, handed him a $20 bill. And that guy was laughing. He knew what the schmeal was. He was a captain or something at the airport, and they were dragging it out about letting us. He said, El Presidente. And he stuck his hand out. He had the $20 bill hidden in his hand. So when he shook his hand, he felt the 20 and took it. And he said, my El Presidente, appreciado. And even the guy at the border laughed. He took it and then waved us on through after we each gave our 20s. But anyway, that's the way it goes down there. Corrupto. So anyway, Yeah, they like being called a Oh, I meant to put this up when I was putting that picture up about that character. $300,000 man that voted in Maryland. Frank had a show on mass CDL arrests, and he showed a picture of a New York State driver's license. At the same time, they're doing a crackdown in California. And I'm sure Chicago or Ohio, all over the place. Look what's on there. No name given, an address. They give them a CDL license. They give their date of birth. They don't even have to give a flipping name. And people that say, oh, well, the fraud and all that stuff, no, that's not true. Yeah, like hell it's not true. They started motor voting, okay? Ballots just show up at that address on that license, okay? No name given? Oh, fill it in. Just fill it in when you get the ballot. And people are going to flip when they find out. Now, the liberals won't flip, because every vote should count. Everybody needs health care. Blah, blah, blah. Here's somebody taking a chance. Crowder. Steven Crowder. He used to do these, change my mind with coffee. He'd sit there with coffee. And he quit doing it. He hadn't been doing it in a while. I think there was a couple of instances where people got violent and his security had to do something about it. Anyway, he says the left is violent. Change my mind. Change my mind is back. We're live at SMU now. Yeah, he's taking a chance, but he's standing his ground. I got to give him respect for that. I don't watch the show all the time. I can't. I mean, it's daily, I guess, or 5 days a week or whatever it is. Let me see. I've got all these things here. How is the left reacting to this kind of stuff? I mean, the stuff I'm showing you with the shutdown is a losing battle. Do you think they're being made to put themselves in a losing situation? Do they have another choice? What do you think, folks? I want to see if there's any... I didn't get... all right, that's about when I asked. 15 days, 61 days, Sparky said. 3. Miss Minister said maybe 61 days. 30, 10. 30 years, Miss Minister said. 39 years. If they go over 61 days, we got it. It's all over the map with predictions. Rain said 3 days. Sparky thinks 30 days. Debbie said 10 days. Ronald Reagan shut the government down multiple times. Multiple times. But I'll pull up that 61-day thing here in a minute. I forget how many he'll be able to fire after 61 days. But anyway, you are here 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. And then look where you got J.D. Vance. How are the liberals handling this reality? Not very good. It puked me out. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and play it Stephen Miller. Plus, they're seeing stuff like this. If, they stay in their echo chambers, but this stuff has got to leak out a little bit.
I would say that the mayor of all these Democrat cities, like Chicago, what you are doing to your own citizens is evil. subjecting your own citizens to this constant bloodbath and then rejoicing in it is evil. And you should praise God every single day that President Trump is in the White House. The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization. Look at Chicago. They've shut down the police department. They've handcuffed law enforcement. And as President Trump says, they have turned the streets of Chicago into a bloody killing field. Here in Washington, D.C., before President Trump launched the federal law enforcement liberation in D.C., there was a murder on the streets of this town every other day. Body after body after body after body. That was Washington, D.C. Residents were afraid to go to restaurants. They were afraid to go into entire neighborhoods. They were getting carjacked right and left, robbed and beaten. That was Washington, D.C. Now we're 2 weeks homicide free, the safest the city has ever been in its entire history. And the Democrats, instead of jumping up and down and saying, thank you, President Trump, thank you for saving our lives, thank you for saving our cities, instead of thanking him for that, they're saying, President Trump, how dare you save our lives? How dare you save our children? How dare you save our city? The Democrat Party, Sean, that exists today, it disgusts me.
It is disgusting. Yeah, they say Stephen Miller's really the one that's running the White House. He's really the one running the White House. Well, let me find some of this comments by these people. Let me put this up. Diamond Silk, what did he say? Rust Belt City Police Chief, I don't know which city he's from, says, praise to Allah in shocking press conference. I didn't see that played anywhere. I didn't click on this article. A hotbed of Islamic politics in Michigan is going viral. Did you all see this, folks? After the city's police chief offered up praise to Allah during a press conference about expanding diversity. Issa Shaheen, you got to go, buddy. You got to go. Speakers up. Get mad at you if you're walking home with a ham under your arm. Sorrow-funded organization, Invisible. That's what I should have put in my thumbnail. Invisible shutdown. Spearheads government shutdown agenda. A left-wing organization receiving millions of dollars from Georgie Porgy Sorosio. Open Societies Foundation is urging Senate Democrats to start a government shutdown. Well, it looks like he was successful. What did Trump talk about with his meeting with the generals? The enemy within, right? And he was talking about how the military can handle conflicts overseas in Europe, in Latin America, and right here at home. Didn't he say that? We can do it all if we want to, because we have the greatest, most powerful military in the world. In the world. Here's how the left is handling this stuff. Here's how the left's handling it. I'm hoping to see lawyers create a new the Midas Trash Pail comment. To create a new national organization will assist all U.S. citizens illegally taken and detained by ICE. To make it possible for lower-income individuals to sue ICE. Our citizens need to be able to take ICE to court to help and try to slow down this madness. Well, you know what I was thinking the other day? As far as organizations go that are operating contrary to the Constitution, these lawfare, it's the politicized. Okay? They're infiltrating judgeships, and they're also getting in Congress. How many of your state representatives are lawyers? How many of our senators at the federal level are lawyers? How many of the members of the House of Representatives are lawyers? Lawyers are supposed to be officers of the court. They have a special, attorneys, lawyers, whatever. They have a special relationship that the average citizen does not have. Isn't that a violation of separations of power? How can you serve in the legislative branch and also have a special relationship with the judicial branch as an officer of the court? If you're going to be a member of the bar, maybe you don't need to be eligible to be a representative. Okay, citizen only. Something to chew on. Because why $250,000, $500,000, $2 million? How much money past lawsuits dreamt up out of whole cloth? Minus trash again. Wow, what the F? Today is a very depressing and scary day all in one. We have our government getting ready to shut down. We have our military being given an ultimatum. Attack American citizens or resign. And it's all because of one person. I will not say his name or call that evil clown president. May Midas Touch community friends stay strong and keep fighting. They're living in a dysphoric dream or nightmare world of their own creation. I had some more. I've never been this depressed in my life. Here's their idea of a funny meme. Midas Trash Bale Network. Midas Trash. I've stopped another escalation. Where's my Nobel Peace Prize? That's supposed to be funny. It's stupid. Stupido. Stupido. Here, I found another Archangel Michael with a different Satan. If you all want to take a screenshot of that, do not make peace with the enemy. Put that on your Facebook. Stay away from me, you demons. Oh, Occupy Democrats. Waitresses should be paid a living wage. I put in the comments, don't be a cheapskate and tip good. I'll get into that. What a ripoff. What a racket getting in the back pockets of waitresses. That's one thing Trump did that was smart. And no tax on tips. Anyway, I'll go over some of those in a little bit. Oh, here's some comments. This is about that guy with the driver's license. I mean, the $300,000 job. Registered in Maryland as a Democrat, but lives in Des Moines, Iowa. Shows up in the U.S. in 1999 on a student visa. Has a doctorate in education, but chose graduation in 1998, has a gun charge against him, and found with a gun but can't legally have one. Help me making sense of this. Next time you'll tell me he's got a CDL from California. I thought that was funny. That's why I took a screenshot. Remember, folks, if you want to help the channel out, I got to buy me a coffee, and if you type in Buy me a coffee, Mountain Man. No dots, dashes, nothing. In your search bar on Goggle, it'll say, walk through history with me, Mountain Man. And you click on that, and this is what you get. My page right there with the Batman signal in the background, Mountain Man. So anyway, any support is greatly appreciated. Great. Oh, now are these the next ones that are going to be paying Trump? Right here. Let me see. ESPN. I called my boss and they KILLED'd it. ESPN star Paul Feinbaum said he was devastated after a potential interview with President Trump was nixed at the last second and was told they weren't allowed to mix politics with sports. That was ESPN in 2019. Network axed potential Trump interview in 2019. He might have a lawsuit himself. And Trump might have a lawsuit. Yeah. I was going to make this one of my thumbnails. This picture right here. 24,500,000 settlement for wrongful suspension. Trump put that picture up. YouTube surrenders, pays President Trump $24.5 million. The massive victory proves big tech censorship has consequences. Every shadow banned patriot deserves justice. Trump fought for free speech and won. Repost if all banned conservatives should be paid. Yeah. Yeah, Mountain Man got taken down I don't know how many times. I lost count. Here's, I got a video. Jonathan Turley. Wait a minute. Hillary Dillery Do. Hillary Dillery Poo Poo. She was in on that X business. I got to take that one down so you can see the veteran one. I want the veterans to be front and center. There we go. All right. Anyway, here's Jonathan Turley.
Free speech is in a free fall in Europe. There are two anti-free speech movements that have coalesced. Mm-hmm. One is in Europe, where it has laid waste to free speech. Germany, France, England. Free speech has been eviscerated. And also places like Canada. The U.S. anti-free speech movement began in higher education, then metastasized throughout the government. But this has all reached our shores now. The Berlin World Forum followed the remarks of Vice President Vance on free speech, and the EU was red hot. They gathered in Berlin, and it was the most anti-free speech gathering I've ever been part of. There's only two of us from the free speech community. And they are committed. And, you know, Hillary Clinton was there, and she really fueled the anger. I mean, she, when Twitter was purchased by Elon Musk, she called on the EU to use the infamous Digital Services Act, which is one of the most anti-free speech pieces of legislation in decades. And she called upon the EU to use the DEMS citizens, force people like Musk to censor. It's an extraordinary act by someone who was once a presidential candidate in the United States. But they are committed to it. And after the World Forum, they further globalized this effort, and they are threatening companies like X with ruinous fines unless they resume censoring American citizens.
So I would bet you dollars to donuts that Hillary already knew that the three-letter agencies were censoring in America, and she was over there getting the EU riled up to threaten Elon Musk and influence X. You know, but I still think the Truth and Reconciliation is on the table and happening. Let me see if this is the right clip. Oh, this might be the one. Let me see. Federal agents raid a Chicago building. One of the things people were raising the devil about, they were saying Trump is wanting to use American citizens for the military to train on. Now, who the hell ever said that? And yeah, going to cities where there's criminals and illegal aliens would be good training for our young people. Here's where they rappelled down a 5-story building and caught 30 of them. This is a report on it.
Led 300 federal officials to that apartment complex. Some even rappelled down from Blackhawks onto the rooftop in order to help secure that perimeter. Now, they were searching for suspected members of the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Of course, TDA has been designated as a terrorist organization under the Trump administration. Now, it was the biggest show of force that we've ever seen on the ground here. We had agencies, FBI, Border Patrol, ICE, and ATF all involved here, and they were all looking for targets in that same exact building. It was a 5-story building. It was a tall. Operations went pretty smoothly. Preliminary reports show that about 30 illegal immigrants were arrested in this operation, some of them suspected Tren de Aragua. Now, we talked with Chief Gregory Bovino, who's running the operations on the ground for many of these ops in Chicago, and he had some words for people that are pushing back against his operations. Take a listen.
How about you live in the apartment next door to Tren de Aragua members that are trafficking in prostitution, guns, drugs, and taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way? Why don't you live next to them and then see how much of a Gestapo or a Nazi we are?
Yeah, they're using that term Nazi, Yahtzee, right? They're throwing that term around like crazy. Where is that one post I had? That I was going to show the other night. Right here. Was Yahtzeeism, yeah, you got a YouTube video you can click on. Was Yahtzeeism ever truly destroyed? Was it merely a subdivision within a larger organization? One finger attached to a hand. Did Antifa organically form? Flag design a coincidence? Socialist push in the U.S., worldwide, a coincidence? Global power struggle. There is a price we will not pay. There is a point with which they must not advance. YouTube video. So put in the word flag, you'll come across this. You'll be able to watch the videos. We the people. Rudy Giuliani pointed out that Antifa was over 100 years old. 1920s. That's around the same time Adolf started the NAZI party, right? So this post is from you all know who, the 17th letter, and it was posted years ago. We knew we were going to come into this situation. Socialism. Excuse me, comrade, when do we get the free health care? That's one you could put on your meta page. Let me see, I got a screenshot. Somebody that popped up on my feed. I couldn't believe it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Here. I said, oh, it's somebody making fun of Hakeem, right? Whoa, wait a minute. Somebody making fun of Hakeem and Trump. Right there. I said, oh, let me read this post. Somebody named Tabitha Speaks Politics. I didn't click on any videos. I didn't click a thumbs up, a thumbs down. I didn't leave a comment. I don't want to give these creators any traction. Let me read it to you and you'll know why. When I first saw this photo, I was shocked, I tell you. There's no way I would have stayed after this. I would have told them all, F you, grabbed my keys and left. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer aren't the leaders that the Democrats need for this and other corporate donors. Hakeem and Chuck are playing a game that the Republicans aren't playing. Bipartisanship with a... Now, I get all of this. I've been taken down. I've had my videos taken down because I called that guy from the Young Turks. What's his name? Cenk Uygur. When he was talking about, I played the clip where he's talking about pleasuring a donkey. And I said he was a rad and an ickle, right? What else am I supposed to say? And they took my video down. Here's what she says about the President of the United States. Bipartisanship with lying fascist racists who want to destroy democracy, our country as a whole, question mark? You think you're going to take her video down? Then you go suspend her channel? Fine. Oh, I was so tempted to put some laughy faces. If I could get away with it, middle fingers. But I didn't do it. Like I said, I didn't do anything to have this channel get any kind of steam from me. Not so much as a click, just a screenshot. But you see the double standards, don't you? Ha ha ha. Scam funding. That's why I put, Nick Sortor put this up. That's why I put that there's more than one of these guys with the $300,000 voting in a different state, been here for 20 years illegally. Breaking, the Trump administration has just canceled $8 billion in green new scam funding per Office of Management and Budget Director Vaught. Take full advantage of the Schumer shutdown. States losing funding: California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. Yeah. Stupid solar panels, one hailstorm costs millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of damage and leaves people in the dark. On a good day, they get left in the dark with that kind of garbage. What's this? Another happy liberal. Midas Trashville. Isn't there enough evidence for Trump's crimes that he could be impeached? Maybe MAGA wants him gone deep down. Are you insane? Well, I know the answer to that. They are insane. Here, let's see what Trump's got to say. This is what we voted for, lady. As I determined on September 27th, when I activated and called into service the National Guard in Oregon, conditions continue to deteriorate into lawless mayhem. Our great federal law enforcement officers have not been able to enforce the law. Radical left anarchists have been viciously attacking our federal law enforcement officers, men and women who are simply doing their job, protecting federal property and enforcing federal immigration laws and the rule of law. We will never allow mobs to take over our streets, burn our churches, or destroy America. The National Guard is now in place and has been dedicated to restoring law and order and ending the chaos, death, and destruction. We are a nation of law. Your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. I heard the guy that went to the Mormon church that he was an anti-Trumper, and they painted him out as a pro-Trumper. That stupid, what's his character? Swalwell put up a doctored photo of the guy. He was just wearing a regular shirt, and somebody doctored Trump on the guy's shirt to make him look like Trump swore. Turned out he didn't like Trump. Evil. Trump followed that up. The governor of Oregon must be living in a dream world. Portland is a never-ending disaster. Many people have been badly hurt and even killed. It's run like a third world country. We're going in because, as Americans, patriots, we have no choice. Law and order must prevail in our cities and everywhere else. He set up a rapid response teams to go around wherever they're needed. Okay? He's already declared emergency. He doesn't have to play around. And the Marines and the National Guard and the U.S. Coast Guard is exempt from posse comitatus anyway. Maxine Waters admitted that she is demanding health care for illegal aliens, and it's going to be top of the line. Taking American taxpayers' health care away from them. Well, you all saw her. You're not going to get me in that trap. You're not going to get me in that trap. You're just trying to get points. That's all you're trying to do. You're not going to get it from me. Well, you put your foot in your mouth, as you've done many times in the past. This is the video that I was talking about where I think truth and reconciliation is at play. I hope so, because this reporter here, I've never seen him on CNN before. And I don't think CNN appreciates it, but there's a guy that report the guy was doing. Trump says National Guard now in place in Oregon. Portland mayor could not immediately confirm whether troops were in the city. But this guy comes up holding a sign behind this guy. Says, well, turn it around. Let me look at the other side. And got it, both sides of the sign in camera, which I know CNN, certain people at CNN don't like. And then he uses it as a segue to talk about people who like the fact that troops are coming. Now, my Reconciliation Act, or I hope it is, because if not, this guy's probably going to lose his job. But I think he did a great job using it as a segue. Anyway, what do you think?
It's been an alphabet soup of law enforcement as we've seen them get ready and go out and make runs throughout the day. We know more than 50 arrests were made just last night, 20 guns. Like this, who behind me with this sign, he has it on both sides. If you can flip it around and show what he's saying, he's hoping that this action by Trump will help make this city safer. Take a listen to a man that we talked to in a neighborhood that basically says he welcomes the idea of this federal action.
Welcome. They then went to some guy who was saying, of course, I didn't get that part of the clip. They didn't show that. But hopefully he'll be like Scott Jennings and keep his position and do well, I hope. Donald J. Trump again. Ha ha. As I determined. Oh, did I read this? Oh, I had it down twice. I was fired up when I was fired up. I was like, yeah, that's what I've been waiting to hear. I want to see some more videos of people getting rousted and roughed up. They need it. Let's see, what's this one? Dmitry Medvedev. Oh, this is foreign news. Yeah. Trump, let's see if I can find it. over there they were talking about Trump sending a nuclear submarine, right? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Medvedev. Here he is. There he is. Russia threatened us slightly. This is Donald Trump speaking. When he was at the generals meeting, this is how it's reported over in Russia. Russia threatened us slightly not long ago, and I sent nuclear submarines, the deadliest weapons ever created. I did it because of his mention of the word nuclear. He was a stupid man working for Putin, and I sent a submarine or two to the coast of Russia, just as a precaution. We cannot allow people to throw this world around left and right. Trump. That's the way the Ruskies reported his comment. And Medvedev came back and said, new episode of the thriller series, nuclear subs for posts on X. Trump once again brought up the subs he allegedly sent to Russian shores, insisting, quote, they're very well hidden. As the saying goes, it's hard to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if it's not there. Oh, so you don't believe Mr. T, eh? Medvedev, whatever your name is? You sure you want to take that chance? Here's something they reported over in Russia also. See all that traffic in that lane there? Going across the UK, Spain, France, jumping on over into Germany and on. Breaking. The aerial refueling tankers that entered Europe from the United States in the past 2 days are now on their way to the Middle East. About a dozen U.S. Air Force KC-135 Stratotankers and other aerial refuelers were transferred from the U.S. mainland to bases in Europe over the past 48 hours. A dozen Stratotankers and other aerial refuelers going from the U.S. of A. all the way over to Europe, headed to the Middle East. Well, then another report came out. You see Saudi Arabia, France, Italy. They looped around Germany, where the Germs live. New. The U.S. seems to be sending so many fighter jets to the Middle East that the aerial refueling tankers are only dragging them halfway to their destination, then releasing the jets to continue the journey on their own, so they can instantly go back to refuel more jets. So, something big going on, being prepared for. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there's preparations being made for something. Here's how the Ruskies were looking at Trump and Hanks' speech. Trump stated that the U.S. military will be used within the United States to suppress riots and combat crime in major metropolitan areas. Potential targets for military deployment within the U.S. include Los Angeles, Chicago, Portland, New York, and San Francisco. Trump signed an order to create rapid response forces within the U.S. military that can be deployed inside the U.S. on the White House command to suppress any riots, unrest, and criminal activity. Yeah, well, If they're a designated terror group and part of a predatory incursion, the U.S. has banned the use of the following expressions within the agency. Ha ha, I love it. No more talking about climate change hoaxes. No more energy transition where we got to turn in our gas-powered cars and ride around in a battery-powered toy. Can't use the term green. Can't use the term sustainable. In general, they're fighting against neoliberal phraseology. Neoliberal phraseology. And then Pete Hegseth. What do they have here? They put Hegseth. Pete Hegseth. It is unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the Pentagon. You must meet height and weight standards and pass a physical fitness test. No more beards and long hair. Which is true. It's what he said. Venezuela is preparing for war. The president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, has signed a decree granting him additional powers in the event of war, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez reported. According to the document, in the event of war, Nicolas Maduro will be able to mobilize the armed forces, restrict constitutional rights of citizens. Hadn't you done that enough? And partially or fully change the laws. For what? You got control of everything. You live in a totalitarian state. Be like, Kim Jong-un is going to tighten up on his citizens. Yeah, right. Feds announce, what is Tim Walsh going to do? 900 of them, over 1,000, last I heard, in the Twin Cities, caught with phony driver's license, work permits, visas. What do you all think? I got to find out one about how many Fed. I think it's 700,000. I want to ask the chats. Realistically now, not being funny. Hi, Darla. How many people out of that 700,000 unlawfully in this country and working for the federal government? You think there's any? Got to be at least one, right? Roughly $18 billion in New York City infrastructure projects have been put on hold to ensure funding is not flowing based on unconstitutional DEI principles. More info to come soon from U.S. Department of Transportation. $18 billion, getting them where they pay their base with this stolen money. I got to find that one that talks about how many people are going to be canned. I think it's 700-some thousand. How many? Be what? 20 people out of 700,000 are illegal, functioning in our government, that actually have power over American people. Look at this. You're kidding, right? As far as I know, Clinton never sent National Guard troops to southern cities. Elon Musk said, funny to think that Bill Clinton's policies when he was president were essentially MAGA. But then Natalie F. Danielson, Waco would like a word. Yeah. How about that, Stephen King? How many children were burned? 90? Let's see, what's this one? Oh, Cynthia Holt said, fascists don't sit under a tent that says, prove me wrong, and hand you a microphone. They just KILLU. That's right. You might want to put that on your meta page too. I think it's 700. I can't find it. I'm still looking. But I think it's 700 and some thousand. Let me see. Oh, right. That's something from that commie paper there. This is about the dopey Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. Like I said, I didn't get a screenshot of their video. I don't want to show them. But they're being guests on each other's program. Because nobody else can stand them or wants them as a guest. Let's see what this one is. White House, Democrat shutdown. The 1.5 trillion radical wish list, free health care for illegals and zero regard for Americans, has slammed the brakes on the U.S. government. They are holding the nation hostage to appease the radical left base. This is the Democrats' disaster. I could have used that for a thumbnail too. Democrats shut down the government. Rain said a third. The question is, out of 700,000 federal workers, how many do you think might be illegally in this country and therefore, ergo and whatnot, illegally employed by the federal government? Is that something that Trump is getting ready to drop? That Doge can come up with? It's 61 days, and after the 61 days, he can fire 700,000. Oh, this is something about somebody going on a different subject I was going to talk about. Let's see. Maybe it's this is Midas Trash Bell. Here's our opponents, our political opponents. If I were elected president, I would implement two things immediately by executive order. This is from Heather Halverson from Midas Trash Bell. Medicare for all and the wealth tax. If you don't get out and vote, people like this do get out and vote. These are two initiatives that will provide the most impactful relief to people quickly. We'd all finally have the health care and we'd be able to fund what we need without heaping everything on the shoulders of our dwindling middle class. A wealth tax. Namely, they come take your crap because they deserve it more than you in their brains. Here, right here. Derek Evans put this up. Joy Reid, warning about America, about the dangers of MAGA. They want to take us back to no income tax, no regulations, earn as much as you want, and leave it to your children, no taxes. You're dang right that's what I want. Since when does her or Heather or anybody else get to take from me the sweat of my brow and take from my family? 25%, Darla says. Ilian Omar, yeah, she counts. Roland said 40,000. Miss Minister said 3. Rain said a third. That would be 200 and, 10,000? No, 220,000. Roland, 40,000. Let's see. Graybeard says 154,000. Sparky said half. Half would be 350,000. Well, I think we're going to find out. Do you think if it were any size number, 1,000? What is 1% of 700,000? There's going to be a quote failure rate, right, of 1%. On anything you do. Judge rules Trump's beat. Students were unconstitutional. Look there with his mouth wide. Mahmoud Khalil right there in the middle. Coming raising hell in our country. This is what I talk about. A 90-year-old, or however old he is, they say a Reagan appointee. It doesn't matter about it. A Reagan appointee. It's in Massachusetts. He had to go with a liberal senators, the liberal senators' recommendation. That's the only one he could appoint. But according to this doddering old judge, and there's evidence that he's Joe's. I'll talk about it in another stream. But according to him, people can come to this country on a visa and then protest to tear down our government. That's freedom of speech. A foreign individual can come here under the guise of being a student, sign papers that say, I am going to obey by the law and not cause trouble. And then he can call for the destruction of our civilization, and that's free speech. So you know the old fart has something wrong with his brain. What's this? Trade deficit plummets 42.9% in second quarter under Trump's reciprocal tariffs. Did you notice what he told the generals? He said, we're rich as hell. We're rich as hell. Wouldn't that be something? Because they're saying that the military won't get paid during the shutdown until the government reopens, and they still got to serve. Wouldn't it be something Trump says, well, we'll use tariff money to take care of the military until the government opens. Wouldn't that be great? I don't know if it would get that, but he pointed out that we're rich as hell. Here's what one guy with Larry Kudlow was saying. If the government doesn't open up real quick, it's going to be around 100,000. But I'm trying to find that thing. You got to trust me. I remember 61 days he summarily can 700,000. But here's a guy with Larry Kudlow.
I mean, estimate for us. Give us some ballpark numbers here. We've already had some sizable reductions in force. Actually, there's a number 300,000 floating around for this calendar year. That may or may not be the right number, but that number is floating around. Now, if there's a budget shutdown, as our own Chad program suggested, almost ineluctably will be a budget shutdown, then you have the authority to reduce the federal employee count by roughly how much?
Well, I'm going to let that those kinds of questions extend until tomorrow and the days after. Right now, where we are, we have hours to go before a government shutdown, and it can be avoided. And then we'll get in tomorrow. The preparation is all done. We have many options, but we're going to get in tomorrow and see where we are, and we're going to manage this shutdown and try to keep the American people from the havoc that the Democrats have caused on with their crazy demands. But let it be said, there are all manner of authorities to be able to keep this administration's policy agenda moving forward, and that includes...
Very clear to Mr. Schumer, it doesn't seem to move him, Russ vote. That's what I don't understand. It will be worse. I mean, if I were he, and I'm most certainly not, but if I were he, I would want a continuing resolution and discuss all this stuff. I wouldn't want to hand the circular over to you, and he'll have to take some measures that he's not going to like one darn bit.
Well, I think he's got some time over the next several hours to come back from the brink, to work with his moderates to get a continuing resolution passed. We'll see how these votes come up, and then we'll see where we are in the morning.
All right, well.
Office of Management Budget Director, Russ Vogt.
I think it was Kudlow that suggested 100,000. But anyway, I do remember clearly it was 700 and some thousand, maybe 760 over 61 days. Here's what Trump's talking about about jobs, layoffs.
If there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. People that come into our country illegally, and they want to give them full health care benefits. They want to open the wall again. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They want to open the wall. They haven't taken away boys playing in women's sports. They haven't done that. Men playing in women's sports. It's like they don't change. They lost an election in a landslide, and they don't change.
They don't change. No, they only get worse. They only get worse. Trump announces Trump RX website for pharmaceutical drugs after FISA deal. Nobody's talking about that stuff. Well, some newspapers are, like the New York Post. Put this up. President Trump's new plan. Where'd it go? Come on back. To cut the price of popular medicines. Now, if Obama and Biden did that, it'd be nonstop. Hooray for Biden, hooray for Obama. But no, Trump does stuff you don't hear squat from the mainstream media. Anyway, I got a nice little video here. A nice little young lady that I think you all will enjoy. And the headline to this video said, Charlie Kirk's legacy will last for decades. So I will play this to put y'all in a good mood, I would hope. And I hope you enjoy it. And I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me. Don't I always say that every night? It's precious time, isn't it? So I should be broadcasting tomorrow live. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel, it's all one word. Buy me a coffee, Mountain Man. And you'll see, walk with me through it, because we are walking through history. It's being made as we speak. Click on it and you come right to my page. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy this video, this nice young lady, and I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Do you know who Charlie Kirk is?
Yeah, he actually died.
Tell me about it.
How he died is he got shot by a stupid man, on his back. Yeah. He was actually a really nice guy.
What made him nice?
He helped people, and people which didn't know about Jesus, he tells people about him. Jesus.
How do you know all this stuff?
My dad.
Does he teach you good stuff?
Very good stuff.
Do you know anything about his family?
He had kids.
And he had a wife?
Yeah, a wife. He's still here. He might be like next to his wife right now, maybe. My grandpa might be comforting my grandma, maybe.
I bet he is. What was Charlie Kirk's message to the world? What did he teach the world?
To be nice to everybody.